Hello, everybody. Welcome to DWTT's The Road Trip. Yep, this is a road trip for any of those that know what a road trip is. It's typically something you do at the last moment. You're sitting there having a drink. Next thing you know, let's go on a road trip. And a couple minutes later, you're in the car and you're gone. So here we go. This is my version of it. Got to plan it because we're older, but we'll go from there. So on the road on this trip with me,
I'll be right back.
huh? You'll be right back. All right, look at that. See, this is a road trip, so things happen. So next up, so Mr. Tom, tell me, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Good evening, sir, and uh, quickly departed, sir, but he's back. He loves to chat. The man that loves to talk. But that's all right. And hello, Mr. Sucker, in the comment section.
Yeah. So welcome. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and do this a little bit more regular. Like I said, it'll be on the Saturdays most likely, and around this time, middle of the day, either right after a game or later on in the afternoon or early in the afternoon, I should say, so I can talk to and hear from a lot of my friends from across the pond and elsewhere. Yeah. So yep. So we should see how this goes. We'll see. I just like I said, you guys will know it'll be coming on the weekends, so we'll see you in there in the chats, and we'll do this every Saturday and go from there. So, all right. So nothing really planned to talk about except for as you know, there's been a lot of transfer news going on. So for me, seemed like it started out really strong, at least for Arsenal. Things started. Oh, let me before we step into the subject. Sam, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me as always. Yeah, I got my delivery about half an hour earlier than expected. So I'll chat for about 5 minutes, and then if I can just quickly eat my crap, and then I'll be back on.
No problem.
Yep.
This is a road trip, so you're gonna have a lot of comings and goings, I think. So that's cool. So we had Riddy, and it looked like we had Alex is saying hi to us. Hello, Alex from
Hello, everybody.
Potter. All right, so I was just gonna get into it. So we're gonna start talking, I guess, about transfers. That's really the only thing going on. I guess the women's Euro starts in less than a week, I think. Otherwise, not much going on. Yeah, so it's just transfer talk. As I was saying, Arsenal kind of started strong. I thought, all right, this is a good sign. We got some signings in early. Yay! This is better than last time. Can we continue this? And a little hiccup here and there. Next thing you know, boom! I feel like we're back. I guess it's a roller coaster ride, as some of my friends have said. But yeah, I'm a little discouraged. That's all I can say. I'm a little discouraged as to where we are right now, and Tom knows why. So, Mr. Tom, tell me a little bit about your transfer story as as it's going on.
Well, we're building the quite transfer kitty at the moment, so it will be it's kind we've bought in 3 players, but everyone knows we're going to lose 2, so we've got to restock obviously, and basically, how do you replace your hometown hero and probably your best player? That's the name of the game when you're outside the top 6. People go up the food chain, and you got to try and turn 16 million into 60, and then do it all over again. Double.
Yeah, I say as long as you got a plan for it, it works, and you're not too, like you said, probably hopefully any surprised by the move. Eventually, you're going to want to keep these players, but right now it's probably okay. It probably helps you get closer to where you want to be consistently in the Premier League, right? So that's cool. I'd like to say hello, and then we'll let Sam go. I see Mr. Ravenite has joined us. How you doing?
There you go, John.
Yes, and the Assembled has joined us as well. Assembled, welcome. So we'll see how we do with this. I think is that it? Yeah. Oh no, we got Big Scunner from the Big Boogie Down has joined us. So welcome to the show. And let's we'll get to you have a good question there, Ravenite Steve. We'll get to that and we'll talk. It's Steven, right? Is that right? John, sorry. Jeez. All right. Sorry, John. We'll get to your question. I think that's a good question to talk about. But Sam, Arsenal transfer.
Wow.
Tell me, give me a little, I guess, an overview.
Well, it started so promising, right? Because it just looked like all of a sudden we were out of the gate early, which we never do. You know, it was going to, Rafinha was basically done. Martinez was basically done. Tielemans was done. I mean, we were just, according to all the reports and in the nose and everything, we were just doing madness. You know, it was just, what the hell is going on? This isn't Arsenal. But truth comes through in the end, right? That's what happens. Truth prevails. And all of a sudden, we lose out on Rafinha. It looks like we're going to lose out on Martinez. It looks like we haven't actually made an official bid for Tielemans. Apparently, we're waiting for some, I don't know what, the cows to come home or whatever. I don't know. We're waiting for there. But then all of a sudden, all the truth and reality, what we used to with their do and everything just comes straight back. You know, we're just missing out on players and doing sweet fuck all. And, we've got a few players in. You know, of course, Jesus is a good signing. But I think that was basically nailed on the door through Arteta's connection with City and the whole Brazilian connection.
Is that done? Like, is that official? Like, announced?
Oh yeah, it's not announced yet, but there's footage of him at Emirates in the kit doing all the PR stuff.
Right.
So it's just a matter of the fucking PR team. That's another whole discussion. The Arsenal PR team seems to be the slowest fucking crap PR team in the world. Of actually having to be that person. Announced.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person, but I was like, as they said it on Twitter, like, as it come out of the Arsenal Twitter account.
There's pictures of him at Colney doing the medical, being
I'm not saying it ain't going to happen. Everyone and their grandmother knows that this is done. Everyone. My nan's been dead for 20 years, and she knows this transfer is done.
It should have been announced days ago. It hasn't. It's just, dragging on again as it always does. But that's for me. That's a signing. We've done that. Jesus is good, I must say. But that's through. I'm not counting that as like that. He was hard to get because I think they've done a lot of good stuff. Early behind the doors, and he wanted to come to Arsenal. But players that are like hard to get that don't just jump at us. It's like they do in Arteta. They're struggling, and I'm wondering what Edu is doing. It's like, what does he have the pull? Is he able to actually negotiate properly? What's he doing? Because everything's just falling apart now. Everything looked promising, and now at the moment we got nothing. The thing's stopped up for days now. We don't know what's going on. So I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day. We've still got, of course, a while to go until the start of the season. We've got a while to go to the end of the transfer window. But what started promising has suddenly turned into what we normally see and recognize.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I thought we've learned something from the past, and we definitely, after having what I would call a quiet January, we weren't going to do that. And it looks like I don't think it's much better, but I kind of felt like Plan B's needs to be implemented sooner, and I think there's enough holes to fill that if this is going to be too much, because it sounds like it's too much. Rafinha. At some point, does he really want to come? If he does, cool. Can they sit around and wait for him? I don't think so. We're going to need to fill the holes.
Yeah, and he wants to play for one team.
Yeah, and he wants to play for one team. So what's the, I'm okay. I'm okay to let him go. I kind of feel like I don't want to waste my time.
Move on. Forget it now. Move on.
Can you answer this question? Really, he's putting questions in the thing.
No. I haven't. Yeah, so I got some. No, I got some. I saw some questions come through, so we'll take the questions and we'll kind of fill in if we need to with some more talk on the transfer, because I saw there's a couple good questions out that we can definitely talk about. First one coming here that I saw from John about Ronaldo, and he wants out. Oh wait, he wants out, but also he might be available. I think Sam's saying, is that like nodding and like, I cannot believe he's available? Is that like nodding like
no way. I wouldn't touch him with a fucking 54.3 foot barge pole. That guy is a poison chalice, he is. I mean,
yeah,
he's just he's first of all, he's not as good as he used to be. He's lost a lot of what he used to be. He's still good, but he's not quite what he was. He's definitely not 500k a week good. but he's got all that influence and all of that. But listen, Ronaldo, I mean, come on, the guy's when he comes into a team, that's it. He becomes the center of everything. Everything revolves around him, and you can't fucking play proper football anymore. No way. Yeah,
he's an albatross around Man United's neck last season.
I see. I guess I see it a little.
I agree.
I just feel like I think they utilized
him
him incorrectly. They brought him in probably for some good football reasons, a lot of probably marketing reasons and all that stuff, but they didn't use him right. And then they're gonna say, you know what? Well, the 18 goals are a smokescreen for how bad the team was run. And I'm like, you have to know who you're bringing in and what how you're gonna utilize them. I don't think they did that.
18 goals for Ronaldo that's a shit season. I mean, the guy normally scores 50 goals. So, in all competitions. So, that 18 goals is a shit season for him, even though it's quite a decent season for most. But the thing is, I thought Solskjaer, the previous manager, before he got booted and Ronaldo came in, I thought he was starting, even though, of course, they were all against him and everything. The guy had a tough job, but he was starting to get some shape into that team. And then all of a sudden they brought in Ronaldo thinking, that's it, he's going to be a new talisman and everything. And it was the opposite. Brought in Ronaldo and everything went to shit. Everything. Team chemistry, the way they played, everything just went completely downhill after getting Ronaldo. And even despite being, the team not playing well, he still managed to get, quite a few goals, which shows you how good he is at, obviously at finishing still. But no, he's just the guy's a poison chalice, big albatross around your neck, like Tom said. He's got all that influence, he's got all that status, but the guy is just too. He takes too much of the attention away from what you should be doing, and that's the problem. There's no way I would want him at Arsenal, unfortunately.
I get that. Sam, Tom, you have anything? Mr. Tom, you have anything to say on Ronaldo?
They spent 2 years. They had a plan. They had a plan that involved buying Jadon Sancho, building a team around him, as you would when you spend 70+ million on a player you've chased for 2 years. And then about a week later, he went in for Ronaldo, and then they took him just so Man City couldn't have him. But Man City must have been sat there rubbing their hands with fucking glee, pardon my language, because they're basically convinced, like Sam said rightly, that Solskjaer could see he was starting to build. God's what you think of him. He was building a plan, and as I said, rolled around buying Sancho for a lot of money. And then that plan literally got screwed up, thrown out the window, just so Man City didn't get Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Because statistics, exactly. This is not my opinion. Statistics show that when Ronaldo does well, everyone around him does not. Because the team has to go, it gets filtered through him like a funnel. So, so he gets 18 goals, so everyone else can't get 9, 10, 13, which would, out of a team, add up to more than if you had him. Juventus, Ronaldo was getting 30+ goals a season for Juventus, but Juventus was less goals than they had before they had Ronaldo, because it got spread around more. And that's what happened with Man United. That's not my opinion. That's factually what happened.
And this is and that's probably the problem, and that's what a lot of, I mean, even some United fans probably said it. Bringing him in isn't a long-term solution for them. It doesn't even cover the sores that you have, right? The holes, the gaps that you're missing. It doesn't really do any of that stuff. But he did what he needed to do. I know it sounds like he took away from everybody else, but I guess he's not a good inspiration to everybody else, is he? But let's go to our second question here. I think Riddy. Oh, here we go. This one is for you both, Sam, and not for me, but for you guys.
Wasn't he born in Bethlehem?
So I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know much about this
I don't know.
Liverpool
I don't know
place.
what's the choice was. That's one of
I've got a
really
rough
funny,
idea.
weird questions. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I think Alex is
Why,
gonna.
why wasn't your mother your father? I mean, it's
Probably through Ian St. John netting the rebound or something. He was the Liverpool
listen, Gary,
striker.
I gotta eat some grub. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay.
All right, cool.
Cheers.
We'll chat some more. Maybe we'll bring some of these questions back up for you. So all right, people. So when he comes back, we will we'll bring him back in. But yeah, I guess we'll go to the next question here. And so this one here, and this is probably more for me, but I think it probably works for you to some degree as well, since those are where your holes are, at least if those two players leave, right? Your midfield and your forwards at least are degrading, or not degrading, they're just you're losing.
He's answered
Who
the
did?
question. He's answered the
Yeah.
question / joke. No, it's the latest comment. Very good.
All right.
Very good.
All right, so let's see. There you go. Oh, and you forgot.
Yeah. Extra. Yep.
So let's go into the next question here.
Oscar.
Yeah, that's a good one, Riddy. Next question here. Oh, this one we already answered, but this question here. Most important to fail for me. It is both that we need, but most important, if they were going to say we could only get one player, and that would be for me how I would consider it important, it would have to be midfield for me.
Yeah,
because I think everybody and their mom would rather have the best midfielder, i.e. KDB, than probably the best striker in the world. Right?
Well, Man City played for years without one, or years.
Yeah. And you just got to put people in the box, and maybe it won't even fall. It'll just knock off of them and go in. But if you're not getting it, if you're not getting through the middle of the pitch, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen for you as a team. Yeah. So, anything else you want to add to that one?
No, I was going to say with my team specific Leeds, I would say midfielder, and that's even before we sell Calvin Phillips. So realistically, we need at least 2 midfielders. So,
yeah, and Arsenal lost 2 strikers. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Now, before we bought the Mark Rocker from Bayern Munich, we hadn't bought a midfielder in 9 transfer windows, which is absurd, and partly why we were in the situation we're in. We strengthened. There's more reasons, like Bielsa weren't happy with what he was offered, and the sort, to get onto another thing briefly, the sort of players that Bielsa would want, we can't afford. Like, he would turn around and be like, I need a Kevin De Bruyne type, when we ain't got Kev type money. So, but who does, apart from 3 or 4 clubs? But that's football.
Yeah, but he is the gold standard. He's the top of the table in terms of midfielder. But if you don't have, if there's ways for you to improve the midfield, you do it, right? You do it, and that's kind of where I'm at. Arsenal it's not necessarily in some regards who we bring in, as long as they're better than what we've got in either a starting position or coming off the bench. Squad player, whatever you want to call it. So for me, just keep improving your bottom line, your floor, as they say. You can't get, you keep doing that, you'll be all right. So we're not doing that, as in some respects we're kind of putting in projects that might pan out in a couple of years, and we can't do that anymore. It's hard to do that along with actually kind of like for in your case, right? You're losing 2 of your best players. If you're not improving on what you already have, that's not good, because you just, like you said, you just got what you wanted to do, which is get away from the relegation zone, and you'd rather not even be that close coming in to the new season. So
Well, we were fortunate that we had enough weapons, like we had a Rafinha, that the teams around us didn't. Like Burnley had nothing close to Rafinha in their squad. Like that, saying that, I think Maxwell Cornet is a good player and really a bargain for what they paid for him. At the same time, when it came to the crunch, he went missing because he started out like a house on fire. At the occasional moment of brilliance where you see him think, oh yeah, 15 that they paid Leon is great, but then Rafinha's the one scored on the final day. He's the one stood up in the stands and got the job done. He's going to get himself his dream move, and I hope he gets it. I mean, really, IP actually turns around and just has this really weird change of heart and goes, you know what, I'd rather play in Leeds for the next 5 years. I'd be like, glad to have you, mate. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I can't see it now. I can't see it now unless Barcelona does something silly, which they're not going to do. They're not going to do that.
The impression I get of him, though, is he comes across. I say it's like I know him. I don't. The impression I get is he seems like the sort of person who it's either Barcelona or he stays at Leeds. Because he'll be like, I want to go to Chelsea. He don't even want to talk to Chelsea. Like, that can has been kicked down the road. Like, I don't care if it's a bid. Barcelona or I'm staying, sort of thing. He hasn't said or he's staying. But I get the impression he'd rather just stay at Leeds, stay for Barcelona, and that's it.
Yeah, and
he don't want to stay at Leeds.
And that's even worse. That's like worse for Arsenal, right? A player who can't get to where he wants to go would rather stay we always felt he would make that move and maybe even come to Arsenal. And it's like, I mean, it's probably too much mentally to just make that move to Arsenal. But and probably if Arsenal doesn't meet the money demands, anyways, it's not going to happen. And we don't seem to into actually making that move.
I think the reluctance to go to Arsenal and Chelsea is more because he would have even less chance for Barcelona if he plays for your team. Because then he gets a longer contract and his value goes up to the point that Barcelona will never be able to afford it.
That's definitely the plan. Hopefully that is the plan for Arsenal. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he should have just bottled it, right? Finish off the season.
In theory, he should have. but like the thing everyone says about him, though, he's a born winner. Like, even if he's in it, it's objectively terrible. He wants to win. Like you saw when you were destroying us at 2-0 in the game was it in April or May, whenever it was. He had this desperate, like he wanted to fight the ref because he's Luke Ayling. And he was right to send off Luke Ayling. It was always everyone. Stevie Wonder could see it was right to send off Luke Ayling for that tackle, but Rafinha was just because he saw that as I've got less chance of winning without Luke Ayling on the field. So why he sending him off? Like he's desperate to win.
That mindset right there. That's what is lacking from Arsenal. Like you said, it doesn't matter if my teammate was wrong. I don't care. I want to win. So don't stop me from winning, basically. This goes back to that I think it's the Leeds match, right? Where Tierney goes crazy at the end of the game when Pepe gets the red card and all of that. And he's going mad. He's mad, right? He's just lost it. And you've got Xhaka there just saying goodbye. He's like, "Hi, how you guys doing? We'll see you in the summer or whatever." And you got Tierney just mad at it, and that's what Arsenal's missing. That maybe you can tone it down a little bit, but nah.
It's ironic you say that though. I want you to say that about Tierney because he was also wrong because Pepe did deserve to get sent off for what he did.
No, he did. But I want somebody who.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'm saying because guess what? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
No, Pepe
that's what I
deserved
mean.
it.
They're both angry, but they're both wrong because the ref was right to send both players off for
Yeah.
for a separate thing. But they had that like,
Yeah.
no, I'm backing my team.
No, definitely, and like I said, it's more about the what that's not going to happen again kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like that's not going to happen again. So don't even think you're going to get away with it next time, kind of thing. So yeah, no, you want that, and that's what I think most fans are missing from the game right now. Now it's too nice. All right. Now it's too nice. It's like I don't want to do too much because I'm going to see this guy on the weekend. We got a dinner date or something with the family, kind of thing. Like, nah,
Yeah.
it's, you know what, on the pitch, I don't like you. If you lose and you're crying, I'm happy. Afterwards, maybe we'll have a beer, but right now you're going to lose this game, and I'm going to laugh at you, and then we'll have a beer and we'll move on. So yeah, no, this is from John about Ronaldo. Yeah, talking about Ole. I don't think Ronaldo was the problem. I think the way they utilized him and how they embedded him into the squad basically was part of their demise. You bring in a world-class player, you should expect to get something from it. They got the exact opposite. And he got he did his job. No, but you have to.
Tactics.
But if he looked like, for example, think about it. If you take 5 goals off of that, and like you said, it spreads around and it gets contagious, and everybody, and then those 5 goals that he didn't get turn into maybe 10 goals for everybody else. That's what you wanted, right? He didn't have to be the savior for them, but I think the way they utilized him and the way the team was structured and the mentality of the team created their demise. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get why he's bad, but I think
looked good.
Yeah, and I think he's good.
Suffered.
Yeah, I think it's good for him to say I want out more because it helps them out. I'm kind of upset about that. I don't know if he'll get to go anywhere.
Who's going to take him? Ridiculously.
Yeah,
He's there because no one else would pay him. But Man would have genuinely, if they genuinely wanted him last season, they would have got him.
Yeah.
And yes, correct.
Yeah. Hey, Manny. Yeah. Oh, so I didn't realize he was at Arsenal. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
it's like 10 years ago. He's basically like, cut long story short, he made your bench for one of your Champions League matches where you were already through, so but you filled your team with youngsters. Like it was like a Champions League match at Leeds or something.
Yeah.
I know that because apparently Leeds got promoted, and Rodrigo. Luke Ayling used to wind up the players by piling up to Rodrigo and going, "We're Champions League players, mate. We don't have to hang around with the rest of the squad." Because he's never actually touched a blade of grass in Champions League. He was just a sub. But he winds up players by saying that he was a Champions League player, with the joke obviously being that he wasn't.
And you know what?
He's like, me and Rodrigo are Champions League lads.
No, it's and like now thinking of that, it's like, would he have been good to be with Arsenal? Because he, like you said, he was with the squad. Like, did they rush the gun again and let a player go that could be with them? And maybe, I don't know how you feel of Ayling in terms of what he brings to your squad, but I think, does he start most games, or I'm not sure.
For Leeds he did. I don't think he will now, in the sense that because we've bought in a right back from Red Bull Salzburg, but we're buying everyone from Red Bull Salzburg. But he's the sort of player you wish was 5 years younger. Okay. In terms of like, because his commitment is faultless. Like, I can never turn around and say that Luke Ayling got sent off because he was upset at being 2-0 down to Arsenal. Like, he should never have made that tackle, but you don't make that tackle unless you're pissed off that you're getting embarrassed.
I hear you.
Yeah, no, obviously he gambled on himself by leaving your club to go to Yeovil, where he built himself back up. Which is...
Do you know much about Ailing Sam when he was at Arsenal?
Not really. No.
Yeah.
He was a youth player, wasn't he? But don't remember much of him.
Yeah, I guess I guess that right there tells you as much, right? Usually, the youth players will stand out. They will stand out enough that you remember. Well, I remember him. You know, so
don't remember him standing out as like one of the hot prospects, to be honest.
Yeah. So I just want to say hello to. I just want to say
you don't get many right backs stand out as a hot prospect, though, do you? In youth teams, it's
that's right.
It's not very often, is it?
True. I say hi to Manny. Good. Thanks for you for joining us. And I think there was a comment here to you, Sam. I guess let's see. Oh no, this is just the same one about Ronaldo. Yeah.
Listen, Ole wasn't a great manager, but he was starting to get some kind of shape there, in my opinion. And he was right to get sacked as well because he wasn't taking him in the right direction. But I just think he started to show a little bit of like bringing some shape to that team, and then they just went, over his head, and of course they sacked him and everything, and then Ronaldo's in and there, and with Ronaldo in, they just haven't been able to do anything, have they? So, anyway, let's move on from Ronaldo.
No problem. Yeah, the next question. I don't know how to answer this one.
Why do sumo wrestlers? So Riddy's telling us jokes today. That's what he's doing.
And I guess there was
why do sumo wrestlers shave their legs? Let me see. Is it because your mama showed them how to do it?
And you got to come back. Let's move on.
You say one more thing on Ollie just to side him.
Yeah, no problem.
If you lose a football match 4-1 to Watford, you deserve to be sacked. See you later.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, they were pretty.
There are some things that just are not acceptable, right?
Watford team that got relegated.
Some would say.
Yeah, they were piss poor.
Watford team that lost like 11 home games in a row, beat Man United 4-1.
Yeah, it's not on.
They just beat them 4-1. Anyway, and yeah, I'm sorry. Just I hate that club. So any reason punch down on, punch up on a minute.
True. There are a lot of things we can talk about. I think one thing that did pop up, and I saw there was a lot of conversation. I think even Sam talked about it. I don't know if you talked about this one about Vieira taking a picture in a foot. You got a foot brace on or whatever they call it, and people getting. The way I look at it is I just don't want to see it because it may be precautionary, but it just is like. I don't need that. Just doesn't make me feel good. Like he just showed up a day and he's already in precautionary mode, because this is the Arsenal.
Yeah, no, it's of course it doesn't look good, does it? But like I explained, I think it was in our one of our forums. A brace can also be used as a precautionary measure if a foot or a ligament needs to be rested. It's not necessarily injured, but you're a bit worried about it. You might have felt a twinge or, something, you're trying to sort of prevent something. Then you want rest on that area. Then a brace can be used that way as well. And Vieira has actually tweeted himself that he is going to be ready for pre-season. So I think it's just a matter of resting something. He's resting something there to make sure he's going to be okay. He doesn't want to take a chance. At least that's what I'm hoping is going on, because we've had enough players who come in injured or get injured straight away as soon as they sign for us. So I just hope it's that way around.
Yeah. Like I said, go ahead.
I would rather a player be injured on July 2nd than August 2nd.
Yeah. And what, I'm thinking about it that way, usually this would have been in August, right? We would have signed him. Basically, season may have started. We bring him in, and then he's in a boot.
Yeah.
So
He injures himself moving house.
So now at least he's got like 2 months to where he should be fine 2 months from now, right? 2 months from now, or is it 2
Yeah,
months from now?
I think he'll be okay. He says he's okay. I don't think he'd tweet that if he didn't mean it. I mean, it would be a bit silly, wouldn't it?
And I think in this day and age that a player has to do that tells you how much. Cause that just means we have too much information. All right, that's the problem. We have too much information, and I think
got
that's
a lot
the problem.
of people have no idea what they're talking about. Just blasting it about on Twitter. He's injured. He's this. He's that. Yeah, no one's got a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah. I love it when someone will write to me and I go, "Oh no, that's not true." And they'll, "How do you know it's not true? I read it from such." I go, "Yeah, but I made the rumor up, so I know it's not true."
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one.
No, let's see here. So we'll move on from there, that question. So went through the questions. If you have any more questions there, we'll tackle them, but we'll continue on. I guess transfer period is here.
There is a quick war that I want to just on. Riddy versus Scousers seems to be a theme of our comment section tonight. Riddy, what did the City of Liverpool? Yeah, what did the City of Liverpool do to you, Mr. Starker?
I think Riddy wants to go to Liverpool on holiday. I do. I think that's where he wants to go.
Is it one of those like Total Recall or something where you have like a theme holiday, like you get a preset storyline, whereas Riddy's is he's trying to make sure that the City of Liverpool want to murder him. So he has a great time.
Simulate being in Liverpool, walk down the street, get stabbed, and get your car nicked.
Yeah. And then
I don't even know why I'm laughing at that.
Why always us?
I don't even know why I'm laughing at that. That's just, that's not, it's not something to laugh about.
We always laugh at Liverpool. What are you talking about?
Oh, I can laugh at Liverpool, but no, the what could happen to Riddy if he goes there is
no, we're not laughing at that.
I would never laugh at Riddy's misfortune.
He's got some more questions for us. One more. Acceptable finish, and I guess this will apply also to Leeds because I assume
top 4 for me,
17th and above for you guys. But
for top 4, we've got to get in the Champions League. We got 5th last season. We're supposed to be investing more in the squad now this summer, improving the team. If we don't get Champions League spot next season, that is failure.
I'm with you. Yeah, no, Champions League for me, and I would rather it be through Europa. And I can understand not getting top 4 and being a little upset about that, but being able to go through Europa and win it and get Champions League that way, I think for me is bigger.
Yeah,
it's bigger than top 4.
Bigger than the top 4. Yeah, I agree. I thought I'm just looking at his question there. Acceptable finish. I'm thinking like league table finish.
Yep.
That's just the way I've interpreted the question.
Yeah, like my range going into and I'll probably explain it in a video is like it's last year it was 5 through 7, and this year it's probably 3 through 6. It's basically the range of positions I think are most achievable for us based on what I can see happening. 3rd is going to be probably less likely, and I think 6th is probably even more. So definitely top. I can see top 4 would be acceptable, but I don't think if we don't get top 4, it's the only way. It's immediately he's fired. We have to look for another manager. There's going to have to be something else for him not to do to get us there. Yeah. So, Mr. Tom.
Arsenal, Leeds. I'll do Arsenal as well. I personally think, not as an Arsenal fan, I would say 5th would be fair. But I know for Arsenal fans, 5th would be unacceptable. But at the same time, I do think that at a certain point in the Europa League, still win it, you would sacrifice 4th. Because the prize is still ultimately the same. and you would still end up with a trophy in your hand, and same thing you'd get if you actually finish fourth. Like, so don't be surprised if you do actually hit a point in the season where you're playing Thursday, Sunday, and your Sunday performances are not as strong as your Thursday performances, because they won't need to be, as long as you keep winning on Thursdays.
I hear you, but then I look at how we like that would mean you have a plan ahead of time and not be forced into it, right? And the way at least that I've seen the way that I've seen Arsenal work, it's just like I don't think they like you go into the last 10 games of the season, third place is actually achievable. Right? Third place is actually achievable. You don't actually really need to depend on Chelsea failing. You just have to do your business in the other 9 games. And in the other 9 games, we lost 5 of them.
About the shit show that was last season.
Yeah. So for me, the mindset and the way you plan kind of showed me that as a team, he didn't have the team thinking in the right frame of mind going into that. And that's why I hear what you're saying, but I have a feeling we're just going to be forced into one or the other. Either we'll get knocked out early, or we will, I see Mr. Stephen has joined us here.
Good up, Stephen.
How you doing?
Hi, Steve.
Thanks for joining us.
The back end of your season, though, was filled with games that you should have won or would have expected to win, and you didn't, and games that you probably weren't expected to get anything from that you did.
Yep.
And that's your football, right? Because everyone won the game, thought you were going to win, and you didn't win the games you didn't think you were going to. Why is everyone even bothering playing it?
No, we beat Man United and we absolutely battered Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then we go and fucking lose against everyone else.
No, but if you switch that around, for me that would mean that 3-game losing streak would go the other way. We would win the 3. And maybe we draw with that team, and then we beat Newcastle? It Newcastle that we played the last loss we had, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we win that, and then we get what we want because it's more wins than losses if you flip it around. So, like you said, if you do your job, it doesn't matter what happens in the Chelsea and United that team game.
I can do the same thing as what you've just done with all the Leeds fixtures, and I've worked out a way that Leeds could finish 4th, so instead of 17th.
Finish 4th?
Let me see. Winning games. That's the thing. That's the plan.
If instead of losing to Arsenal twice, maybe we don't lose to Arsenal twice, and instead of getting battered by Man City, Liverpool, United, and Tottenham in the same week.
It's a little bit different. You're talking like 38 games.
20 goals in February.
If you take away January from us, maybe things are different for us as well. We take away a month. Maybe you should have like a month you can just write off. They call it a free hit.
Actually, that reminds me of something I wanted to ask Tom. When it comes to Bielsa. In your opinion, what was it that sort of went from, what was magic, the so-called Bielsa magic, which it definitely was for a long time, to basically turning into a nightmare, which it was last season, because I think he was trying to do the same thing basically, but, where did it sort of go wrong? Was it the players not believing in it anymore or getting too tired with because I know it's a very, very physically demanding tactic as well. Or was it, with the players getting fed up with it, or where did the the decline sort of lie?
Is with that, there was a lot of people assuming that there's Dan tools on him, but statistically, it showed that we were still running, and all the metrics you would use to be like, I'm still playing for this man, proved that they were playing for this man. Problem is that all the things that would usually be 50-50 for us if it goes on the right side, if it falls on the right side, we'd get a result. It would fall side and we'd let in a goal. Or it, like a silly example, like I don't know that number off the top of my head, but Rafinha hit the post more than any player in the league. But if those had been goals instead of post. That changes games, right? Goals change games. So it felt like everything that could have gone wrong during certain periods of time went wrong more than it did previously under him. But that coupled with injuries, ultimately we conceded so many goals. The reality is we were always a team that lived on the edge of we concede a lot of goals, but we're going to score a lot of goals, and that for 4 years.
Yeah, but if you take,
you had a lot of games.
For me, if you take that,
you had a lot of games that could have gone either way. Yeah,
I was gonna say, you know, I was gonna say if you take that Leeds team that first started their run in the league, and then you add a Rafinha in there who's improved, then it doesn't matter. Those goals you score don't matter, right? Because I think the way you guys came in running, like I just remember, like there would be streaks where you just like, well, they're gonna score 3 or 4 goals today. They might win, they might lose with all the goals that they score, but they give themselves a chance. Now, you know, like you said, the ball bounces the wrong way. You don't get the score.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, it was for me a lot of what I remember. I mean, I haven't seen very many games with Leeds, but I do remember there was a lot of games that could have gone either way, and yeah, basically it's just maybe flipped the other way, basically. But maybe also I think maybe when you're running, you know, the Wenger syndrome as well, if you want to call it that, or the Wenger effect, where when you're running the same tactics again and again and again and again, at some point the other teams are going to learn how to counter that. You know, I think, you know, because that's what happened a lot with Wenger. You know, a lot of the medium to lower level, mid-table to lower level teams learned how to play against us, and that became a lot more effective because we just kept playing the same way. Wenger believed in, if we just play the same way, keep doing our thing, it will work and we will win games. And you know that at some point tactically, it's not going to happen because you have to change, don't you? Because tactically, you know, other teams are going to figure out how to counter that and be effective against you. So I'm thinking maybe there was some of that involved as well with Bielsa, and he didn't want to change his tactics.
I understand everything you said, but Bielsa is a character who believes ultimately that his way of playing football is how one should play football.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though they don't.
I can see that, yeah.
Like, in a way, he's right. In an ideal world, everyone would play gung-ho attacking football with no respect for defending. Football would be it'd be like basketball, essentially. Yeah. And amazing. But the reality is that a lot of teams, you see people would say, like, oh, they found Bielsa out. But in my opinion, you don't need to find Bielsa and Leeds tactics out. If you're better than us, you'll beat us. And on the day, if you're not, you won't. Because it was as simple as that. We played a man marketing system that usually 12-year-olds play in training. And I mean, that is true. Like, kids are taught man marking. And then when you're adult, you usually play zonal marking system. Yes, it's like, nope.
I thought kids are taught to swarm now. They swarm to the ball.
Yeah, it's about trying to win the ball higher up the pitch, isn't it? You're defending from, being at a high press, aren't you? And at some point, teams are going to figure out a way of getting around that, and then you're vulnerable, aren't you, with a high press? Anyway, I just thought it was interesting to get your take on it because, Bielsa and everything, he's, such a legend in the game, and, he did absolute wonders for Leeds, didn't he? And then it's all
it's one of these things where we will never find out whether the team would have survived with him. Yeah. If we hadn't sacked him, we'll never know.
No, of course not.
I personally believe would have survived. A lot of Leeds think the opposite, and that's fine. We'll never know. Yeah. You're never going to be able to prove it. And I feel more sad that he basically got unceremoniously booted out the door as opposed to what he actually deserved, which would have been the final day at Brentford in ultimately a meaningless match where neither team were in danger of going down. We played a match out, and it's more like a friendly atmosphere or whatever, because it didn't matter. And then you like goodbye, because we were going to hire Jesse Marsh anyway. Like, the unspoken secret was he was going to leave at the end of the season, and Jesse Marsh was going to come in, but we just sped that up.
Right.
Jesse Marsh in early, so he could be a Premier League job as such. But it's just sad they happen for him. To be fair, when you only win 4 games in 25 or something like that, you're going to struggle to keep your job. Yeah. And when you can see 20 goals in a month, you're in trouble. Yeah, not disputing any of this. Like,
it is a results game. Like, that's what it's about. At the end of the day, it's about results. And no matter how, I think you do get some credit in the bank if you've had some really good seasons behind you. I do think you get longer, time to sort of rectify it and try and improve. But at some point, at the end of the day, it is a results business. And if your results are poor for a long period of time, then that's it. No one's beyond being sacked. That's the thing.
Like, I don't know if Ben in the comments will agree with this or not, but
before you go to that, I'll let you, Tom, before you go to that, let's just say hi to the people that just joined us recently. But like you said, Ben has joined us. Well, hello there. I know, Stephen, we said hi to you. Stefan has joined us, and I think he had a question, which I think I actually wanted to know as well, because I haven't seen him do anything in a while.
Yeah, he's been AWOL since about 8th, 9th, 10th of June, about that time. I'm not quite sure what has happened. I've tried to make contact with him. There is no reply on WhatsApp and stuff, and the telephone's not working. So I'm not really sure what has happened there. I have my theories. I'm not going to make them public, but it's a shame. He seems to be AWOL at the moment. I hope we see more of him soon, because there's a couple of things I want to pull him on. First of all, fucking Gareth Bale, who went out and basically said to the whole world was going to Cardiff. And of course, keep digging in him about the whole Haaland thing. He said he was going to go into Real Madrid. Anyway, I haven't seen the guy for a while. I hope he's okay. Yep. Of course, I think we all hope he's okay. Yeah. But unfortunately, he's been AWOL for a while now, and I haven't been able to get hold of him, unfortunately. So
hopefully he gives us gives somebody a little ping just to let us know that he's still around. So that'd be good. Why Not has joined us, and I do have a comment that your comment that I saw in there. And as Ben says here, Mr. Tom is in the co-host seat today. I love Mr. Tom. That's why I have him on my show. Just like I like Sam. If I could get Sam on every day, I would. But Sam's a busy man, so you take it when it comes.
Being on with you guys.
I'm less of a man, admittedly.
No, I enjoy having you on. What is this? It's that menace DWTT. He's at it again, causing havoc. Mods blocking. Hey, you don't like what I have to say, and that's why you said this. I actually think this is a good thing. I don't care if he scores goals against all the lowest teams in the league. I don't care, because we need goals, and if he's scoring, that means he's doing a good thing. And if he scores 3 against the worst team in the league, and he scores, and we're lucky to get 1 against the top, we'll take it. All right, so. It's all relative for me. I like to see him scoring, because I want him to do well if he's going to stay. Then we won't be talking about his contract and his number and all that stuff. That makes it easy for me. So I would love to see that happen. And got some questions here, but we'll get to that.
Highlights. I'll tell you what, those.
It was terrible. The first one was terrible.
It was genius.
It was basically a training ground, exercise with goals in it. Basically, it was absolute pants. That was. It was.
The touch was bad. The center backs gave him pretty much the entire goal.
His first touch, he knocked it about 10 yards with his first touch, and the closest Ipswich defender was still 20 yards away.
I like the shot though. I'll take that. But what is this? Is this? Oh, the goose doesn't make make every show. He's got I think a contract, so we
That's a top
haven't even
reference,
started
isn't it?
negotiating because it's you got to be a certain level to have Cyril on. So I'm not even there yet. Not there yet.
Excuse me, man.
Yeah. And what is
Anyway,
it?
sorry.
Yeah.
For speed.
Yeah. Can I say the one thought I had before I forget it?
Yep.
All right, away, I was going to say, I didn't know if Ben will agree with this. If he doesn't, it's absolutely fine. I think if it was based on that Sam brought up, where basically he said Bielsa had built a big cachet with the club and the fans, and rightly so. He did, etc. And I think if it hadn't have been Bielsa, if it was Jesse Marsh, let's say, he'd have been gone by Christmas.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think you're very right. It got Wenger an extra 4 years. It really did.
Yeah, I think that's the problem sometimes is that you look at the now and not think about the whole entire plan as to I brought this manager in. I have expectations. I know I'm saying the obvious, but that's when you're disciplined. That's when you know if you're disciplined or not. It's like, why'd you let that player go? Why'd you let that manager go? They were doing so well. And it's like, we're better than that. Right? We are better than that. So that's I see that. There are a couple questions here. I think Steven's figured it out. What's going on?
Yeah. Steve, what do you have to go and tell everyone for?
Is that the mystery has been solved?
Results business. Why is the Spanish Moist still got a job under the? My God, this why not Spursy guy? He goes on like an old grandmother, doesn't he? Bloody hell! Churns and churns and churns and churns like a broken fucking record.
Oh, so I'm going backwards with his questions, but this one is it? Yeah. I can.
Yeah. I was angry that he got sacked. I was very angry that he got sacked. Now more detached from it, from the time period, I can understand why he got sacked. I can understand I'm not the person with the money, the skin in the game. My involvement is emotional, not financial. Like, it's not my money that's on the line. So I can understand why those people that it is their money on the line made that decision. But I was upset about it at the time.
Yeah.
It's
interesting that you say the money aspects of it,
but,
right?
But Tom hasn't answered the question though regarding Leeds. Where do you see Leeds finishing? What do you think is an acceptable finish this season?
Well, I always felt that we were a mid-table side, because obviously finishing 9th the first season back was obviously an outlier in the sense of there was no plans. So there was less pressure in that sense, because we were turning teams over on their patch that we might not have done if they'd have had 40,000 people there. We were turning up in these empty caverns and beating Man City with 10 players, and all these weird things were happening. But I think it's hard to know now in the sense that, because I don't know my squad. I know we're likely to lose to. I don't know who we're replacing them with. So it's probably an easier question to answer when you know who your 18 are or who your 25 are. But because it's basically like, you've lost your 2 best players. How do you think you're going to do? So, I don't think we're going to do that well, obviously, because we've just lost our 2 best players. But you've got to give them the chance. We've lost our 2 best players. You've got 2 million in your pocket. What are you planning on doing with it?
Yeah.
And they better have a plan on to something with it. 100 million's a lot of money, burning a hole in your pocket, but losing out on the 200, 300 million in TV money next season, if we don't use this 100 million, I'll take 17th again. Realistically, because the more you're in the Premier League, the harder it is to get out, because then there's always 3 teams coming up that have less resources.
Yeah.
obviously I don't want to finish 7th because I don't want the stress of the relegation battle.
Yeah.
But if we by March, let's say, I'd consider that a good season. If it gets to March, early April, and it's like something would have to go very badly wrong for us to go down, and I'd be quite happy.
So basically, let me ask you this way: do you think? Say you don't know, as you say, you don't know yet who you're going to bring in, so that's fair enough. It's difficult to really gauge then, but say you bring in like 2 decent players, not world beaters, but decent players you're happy with at least. Would you say, can you see yourself finishing top half then? Is that a good finish, top half, or do you think you're going to be
that's
bottom
unlikely.
Half?
I think if we hovered around 12th all season, I'd be.
Yeah, no, that's decent enough. Gotcha.
Cool.
Because we're not. No, Gary.
No. I don't want to stop your thought. No. I thought you paused.
No, that's fine. I was just going to make something up off the top of my head. So
right. We got I was just going to go through some of why not's comments because I don't know if he's helping himself or hurting himself. So.
You know what? There's some people on Twitter, and there's actually some people I like on Twitter, and it's a bit of a shame because listen, I'm not Arteta's biggest fan. He's got some stuff to prove to me as well, but this constant. I mean, there's people on Twitter I actually like, and I'm considering, I don't know, I'm following them because they go on all day from morning till night, like 50 fucking tweets a day, going on about Arteta. If Arteta did this, he was oh no, blah blah. I mean, it's like, get a fucking life. We understand. I agree. Arteta's not great. He's not the greatest manager we've had. There's certainly there's improvement needs to be done there. But I mean, you spent all your fucking day tweeting and going on about Arteta. You need fucking mental help. You need some mental help. Unfortunately, I mean, you do.
I understand the like we were saying before, the emotional aspect of football. It's easy to get caught up in it, but I don't think he's doing a bad job. Yeah. There are obviously things he could have done that went better, but that's said of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah. No, I kind of look at it the same way most people look at the youth on the squad. You can see something there, but they're going to have some blips where you're going to be like, damn. And usually you just forgive him, right? Saka goes out there like he did. He played 38 games, probably 10 more than he should have. And in those 10 games, he just was terrible in terms of what we know we can get out of him. You live with it and you go, all right, well, I guess we have nobody behind him. That's why he plays. But you give him the benefit of the doubt. Arteta is the exact same thing. He's got 3 years of experience. Most managers that he's playing against have 5-10 more years of experience in him, and sometimes you see it and sometimes you don't because he's got he does have a thought process that he's going on. So I get that.
Arteta, he has done some good things, but he's done some poor things. Well, I do think the end of last season, I think, was a failure. I really do. I think from the position we were in January, February, and the way we were looking then, we had games in hand. It's a failure, really, because I mean, and to go back and say, well, at the start of the season, we all thought we was going to be far worse off. We thought we was going to be, 8th, 9th, whatever, and then all of a sudden, so then 5th is a great finish. Well, yes, of course, 5th is better than 8th, but when we had that chance to grab 4th, and it was literally up to us to do it, and we had, I think it was at one point we were 4 points ahead, even with a game in hand or something like that. It was a big margin, and we managed to to fluff that up. Basically, that is a failure. I'm sorry, it just is, and to end up with a 5th then is not what we should be doing. So, there are still some things there when tactical errors. man management errors. He's still learning on the job, but we'll see what happens next season. Because if he can improve on this season, that's what we're all hoping. Well, I think most of us are hoping that he can improve on this and learn from it. And if he does, and we do better to actually get a Champions League spot next season, I think that's a realistic, expectation. I don't think anybody is expecting Arsenal to mount a title challenge next season, because what's the next level up? If you got to go Champions League and then mount a title challenge the season after, or maybe 2 seasons after. You can't go from where we were last season or 2 seasons ago to automatically going into a title challenge. That's just not going to happen. So you got to take things one step at a time. So the next step is Champions League. We've got to get into the Champions League again, get in with the big boys, get some better players in as well. And then hopefully the season after, I would like us to at least push Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, whoever's up there, to at least push them to, I'm not expecting to win the league, but I'd like to push them to say that we had a good go of it, so that we were, still sort of in with a chance, like in March or something like that. February, March, we're still in with a chance. And then if we fall off and get into 3rd or 4th, okay, that happens. But, to be up there with a chance the season after next, that would be good. But next season, we definitely need to be in the top 4. That is the progression we need to go. And I would, of course, like to see us win the Europa League as well, because we are good enough to do that. It depends, I suppose, on who drops down from the Champions League. Hopefully it's not going to be one of the big boys who F up, but we should be able to get through that as well. And that is a natural progression. We need to see Arteta improve to do that. And if he doesn't, for me, if we don't get top 4 next season and we don't at least get to the final of the Europa League, if those things don't happen next season, for me, he has to go. That's the way it is.
Yeah, just before we get to Tom, the reason why I brought up why not is because the next comment he had was basically this one, essentially saying that he was talking nonsense, and then he follows it up with this one here. so yeah, why not's all over the place. Yep. And I just want to say hi to Stan. Is just before you go, Tom. Stan has joined us. Hello, welcome.
Stan.
He said, "What is this?" He said, "Ignore. He's scared."
What question was that? I don't know. What one was it? You'll be going on about Liverpool all day.
Yeah, it's too late. We've already commented on it. They got your number.
Riddy, here's if you go back and watch some of my, was it on Ray's, the Arsenal fan circle, or was it on, I can't remember, but Ryan. You go on Ryan, the Mr. Arsenal podcast. You go into the archive from basically a couple of seasons ago, and you go through we did a program on all the kits for the upcoming, all the new kits for the upcoming season. You want to watch that and listen to my comments about different places in England. Then I think you would realise. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not protecting Liverpool.
Stan. I think he got this wrong. He's a good friend. I don't think he has. I don't think
he's just a friend.
If you turn the lights on in the dungeon, I don't think you're gonna see Arsenal posters on the wall. I don't think that's gonna happen.
And, no. They cost money, and I'm cheap. Thank you, sir.
Glenn Wynn has joined us.
Hindsight, though, wearing black in the dungeon was a mistake. In hindsight, I didn't think through. I didn't think that one through. But I thought, somebody else's shirt with Pride badge as a grenade. But
I hear you. And why not, Scott? Yeah, not good enough. Yeah, not good enough.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. You're absolutely.
I love having you on the show because I know what I'm going to get.
You're annoying as well when you bang on about it 60 times a day.
What is this?
Right.
Oh, look at this. Let me go through the rest of them real quick, and I'll let you real quick. Stephen has joined us. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. There's a lot you can talk about. There you go. We need more presence.
I'll sit here for an hour talking about James Bond, man. I don't care. It was great.
Was it Tom on the right side? Yeah. That is him. Once again, hello, Glenn Wynn. And what is this? Oh, All right, Mr. Tom, you have your say. Go right ahead.
Piggybacking off of what Mr. Greenwood said, I would I need to preface this by saying you clearly were in pole position for fourth, or even third, but realistically fourth, and you didn't get it. Like, so obviously, I understand why you're all furious. It's more disappointed than furious, but at the same time, and it's what upset a lot of people. Arteta statistically has factual improvement consistently. How he's took you from, dare I say it, where you were borderline mid-table, you were bottom half, top half, and he's gone right 8th. It was 8th, then 5th, right?
Yeah.
So it worked. Yeah, 8th, then 5th. Should have got 4th, but you didn't. You got 5th. So, in my opinion, if you don't 4th next season, then it becomes a bit of, well, is he actually improved? Because currently, right now, he is improving you. In results-based business, you are being improved, but you are being improved by this man. But that has to continue.
No,
and that's to continue by you being above that line of, don't get me wrong, the way the Champions League and UEFA are going, within about 10 years' time, you'll finish 17th in the Premier League and qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, there's levels of improvement, right? You know, it's the thing. You can go from like level, basically say level 20 to level, 17, instead of trying to go from level 5 to level 2. It's an improvement, but at a lower level, really, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, there have been some improvements. There is, but there's been some mistakes as well, and as I'm saying, I just want him to learn from that and improve on that, and then we'll see that next season. Because next season, as I said, for me, if he doesn't get top 4, he doesn't at least get to the final of the Europa League, then that's it. He's got to go. We've got to bring in someone who is more experienced, top level, who can take this squad. Who I think with 2 or 3 more, additions now with some good players is a good squad, and it's a squad that can compete, if handled rightly. So that's what has to happen.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. And as Stan says here, for me, I think I'm not necessarily praying, but I just think that one should have been done already. I don't know what's holding that one up. If nobody wants him and we want him, then just go get him. We should. That means the price won't go up, right? I mean,
loaded in getting 4th because management had no faith in the play. Yeah, but Arsenal misfit. I don't know your management, so I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
This whole Tielemans thing, I'm starting to wonder if we're actually in for him, because if we want him, and we're apparently the only club in for him, it doesn't make any sense to just wait around and not do anything. So, maybe media's like there's a lot of lies and a lot of rumors. For me, it doesn't make any sense. If we're the only person in for him, what are we waiting around for? So I don't think we're in for him, to be honest. I don't.
Yeah, I think so. I think if we wanted him like Fabio Vieira, we would have just done the deal and moved on, and you would have heard about it, and then it would have been done. And that's what happened there.
The price isn't too bad from Leicester either. It's a price that you can live with, and apparently how many times have we agreed terms with Tielemans now? It's like 4 times, isn't it? Every few days, it's Arsenal agreed terms with Tielemans. Oh, what about the other day then? What do we do then?
Yeah. I did see this pop up. I don't know if you guys saw it, but basically, Arsenal doesn't look at results; they look at trends, which in some respects is a disciplined approach. You want to pick. If you're buying a stock, you buy the stock on the way up. You don't look at what they did yesterday and go, "All right, that's good." You don't buy them after the fact. You assume they're going to grow. So, to some degree, I get that, but also there's a lot more to it for me, anyways.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's what they think. They think he's improving because statistically, he's moved you up the table. yeah, you dropped off. But in terms of finishes, you're going that way instead of that way. So they're thrilled.
Yeah, technically you are correct, Tom. It's just there's so much more around it that just doesn't,
of course. No, I understand
add
that.
up.
No, I understand that. Yeah, because you're obviously, as I said before, you're right to be. You're all right to be disappointed you didn't get fourth, because you should have got fourth. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying for all the people who are like, he's taking us backwards. Statistically, he's not taking you backwards. He's taking you forwards. But
No, I get that.
again, it's all perspectives, isn't it? Because I'm not the one that's emotionally involved, emotionally attached to your results. Like if you finish 15th, the only way that would affect Leeds if that then meant we finished 18th. So please don't do that. But I mean,
yeah.
I see this, and I can see this being a plan. I just, I mean, that's got to be one of the parameters as to how you keep your job.
Look at that! Look at that PR setup right there. I mean, both the women's team manager and the senior men's team manager, you know, they signed their contracts at different times, but they got them together at the same time to show them off. You know, having new contracts.
And you can tell the difference when
two
both
lads
of them
either side.
Yeah,
they just got new suits, and they were like, "I want to show them off." So just photo opportunity.
No, I don't know.
Man. That's Italian silk.
I hear you. I tell you, I always say I just tell you what I see, and I guess here as well, because when I hear the women's coach talk, and then I hear Arteta talk, I can tell the difference between, you know, somebody who's been doing this for a while and somebody who's still learning. And you know, I kind of feel like, and you know, he has told us he's been upset. Arteta really hasn't told us he's been upset with his players and the way that things have gone, as much as I would like him to. He's usually upset with, you know, a mole, maybe some refereeing decisions and stuff like that, when in fact it was, you could have combat that with some better planning with your squad. But you know, yeah, so I saw this and I thought that was interesting to comment on. We are getting here around 80 minutes. We're probably gonna chill out. We're probably gonna let you guys go back to your regular day jobs in about 10 minutes or so. So we will.
Yeah, we have a nice little chat. It's good.
Yeah.
I see saying the man at CNA saying Vino, they look like he was like a director at fucking, you know, Marks and Spencer, didn't he?
Yeah, we definitely are.
Oh yeah, that's how they placate us.
Yeah,
we bring out about 3-4 training kits and nostalgic stuff every season. It's always timed right when the season's going shit. It's like, oh, we just lost to Bradford, but here's a lovely nostalgic Adidas kit. There you go, and everyone's like, oh, fucking Bradford! Oh, look at that kit! I like that kit. Oh yes, great. Yes.
Do you remember we played in Dreamcast? We had Dreamcast was our sponsor. Let's bring out something similar to that.
This brings me straight back to 1992. Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Adidas suit.
Yeah. What is this? We negotiated these deals a year ago.
Well, have we? That's the thing. There's not, that's the thing. You don't actually know that, Stan, do you? Actually, you can't just believe what papers tell you, honestly, or these fucking online journalists.
There's a lot of personals being agreed without transfer fees being agreed. But I thought that FIFA should be doing something about this. So I standed with a classic. I didn't want the girl anyway. She's a bit fat.
Yeah, Trends FC. There you go.
You did,
John.
You did. I sat on streams at 3 a.m. while you were all telling me how much you loved Rafinha.
So, yeah. I would have taken him, no doubt.
I wouldn't mind Rafinha. Yeah, he's a good player.
A lot of players that went to other teams, I would take them, but if it's not going to happen, I can't. What? Yeah, you're lying. You know you're lying. You're just trying to get clicks.
I never said that.
And likes.
I just said you can move on. There's other players.
Stan said it. My boy. He's my boy, but he said it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like this comment here, I think that's the way it's going to go. Either you decide Can we afford the transfer fee? Yes. So let's see if the player wants to come. Does the player want to come? All right. Now can we afford the transfer fee? So I think
Who wants to come? I have to ask Frankie comes. Frankie goes to Hollywood.
I've agreed a few fees for footballers. Yeah. The fees were free because I'm going to abduct them and put them in the dungeon, but they were agreed with the club.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're the best at bringing out kits and training kits and nostalgic tops and this and that. And to be fair, the whole bringing out the whole, that whole nostalgic Adidas thing, bringing us right back to the early 90s thing. That was brilliant. That was really nice. But again, it's just they just bring it out all the time, don't they? To just keep us happy.
Hello.
Forget about what's going on the field, everyone. You got a nice.
There you go. Hello, Leonard from South America. Thanks for joining us. We're going worldwide.
Really ingratiate yourself to the city of Liverpool today.
Yeah.
At least we don't bring out false positive.
Well, we know what we're taking Ridley, don't we, on a stag do? When Ridley gets married, we're kidnapping him and taking him to Liverpool, aren't we?
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful satire. If I ever wanted to have Ridley killed, I would just take him to Liverpool and just go, there's a stream you should watch. If you want to know why you should have this, man, just watch this particular stream. It's wall-to-wall love for Liverpool. Read the comment section.
Oh, man. Really, you're in trouble, buddy. Don't get drunk with your buddies. You're going to go on a road trip and end up in Liverpool.
Yeah, talk about road trips.
No train pass, handcuffed to to some building, with a really, really bad shirt on with bad comments on it. What is this? Oh, yeah, I guess this is my, I have his jersey, so I guess I'm
Don't knock Ian Wright. Yes, he's been a bit of a front man with the merch and that. Yes, I agree. But come on, Ian Wright is a club legend. Don't knock him. Come on. He's one of the few guys.
Great man.
Yeah.
He's one of the few guys. He's one of the few guys out there, backing up Arsenal, keeping Arsenal's side out there against all those crazy other mugs out there in the media world. The Gary Nevilles and the fucking Michael Owens and Gary Linekers. He's backing up Arsenal out there. Give him a little bit of leeway.
Did you know that the Champions League's getting a 5th place for England in about 2 or 3 seasons? Did you know that?
Yeah, it seems like it, doesn't it? Yeah. What about this? Subject to talk about. What about this? The World Cup now going to be trialing the automatic offside thing with the cameras.
They're going to put it inside the ball, aren't they?
There's a chip inside the ball that apparently this new super technology or something. They can time exactly when they can see when the pass is hit and everything, and it's matched up with there's 12 special cameras, at different angles, and apparently they can tell exactly then the position of the ball in line with the player or whatever, or where the player is in line with whatever. And apparently it can help them make a better decision. I think it's too much.
I've been saying it since day one.
Too much.
All this technologies, we don't need a perfect game in any sport. I don't want a perfect game, and this is trying to make it a perfect game, and it can't. One of my buddies, he works for a company, and they do the technology. They use the technology that goes into the hockey puck.
Yeah.
So they can tell. There's a lot to it. I mean, it's probably not as the puck's moving a lot faster, so it's probably easier to do it in a football, but still, it doesn't need to be that perfect. We don't need to know that you were a quarter inch off from offsides, and that's why you're not going to get the goal.
Just go back to daylight. If you got cheeky bees, if there's daylight between, it should be simple. If there's daylight between the players, it's offside. If there's not daylight, if there's not actual space between them, it's not offside. As simple as that. Keep it simple for everyone. Keep the game simple. Make it. I'm actually against VAR now because I think VAR has done so much crap, and I can see that while human beings in the current state are in charge of that VAR room, it's never ever going to work because it's always, even with independent people, they're going to fuck it up. and there's going to be all these conspiracy theories all day long, and it's just going to fuck everything up. Take VAR away. Okay, we have to live with a few mistakes here and there. That's what we always used to do. I'm actually against VAR because it takes away so much enjoyment out of football now, and it's not worth it. The only technology I think, in my opinion, is worth having is goal line technology, because that works very well, and it's a good thing to know whether the ball has been over the line or not.
And it's definitive.
So
There's nothing.
Goal line technology is okay, and it's not intrusive either. It's a very easy. And
it happens immediately.
That's
nothing to wait.
Take away VAR, fucking strip all this automatic offside crap away. Just fucking make it easy and bring offside back to simple. If there's daylight between the players, it's offside. If not, fucking it's not offside. All right, let's play football and enjoy it. We could probably get a few more goals that way as well.
Yeah,
I will never forget. I will never forget Patrick Bamford being called offside because he pointed to the ball.
Yeah,
I'll never forget it. He literally pointed to where he wanted the ball to be played, and that got him offside. His fingers.
It's ridiculous.
Got him. I couldn't believe it. But the irony is if that ball had come in and he'd have punched the ball, it would have been an handball. Obviously, it would have been an handball. So if you can't score with your arm, why are you getting called offside because of your arm? It should be a goal-scoring body part, surely, in theory.
No, that actually, I believe, is the rule. That's what they're supposed to be measuring, is a part of the body that can score is offsides, then it's offsides.
Yeah.
So
they changed that slightly because of how absurd it was that Patrick forgot. That cost us the game as well. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And
well, I mean, Everton also had a game go against them against, was it City?
Oh, no,
City?
Whoever.
No, I'm just saying, but they were in the relegation zone as well, and those are points that you both would have liked to have had.
No, what I'm talking about that was 2 seasons ago. It was a game at Crystal Palace 2 years ago. It ended up having no bearing on anything. But actually, that's a lie, because if we'd have won that game, we'd have finished above Arsenal in theory, because we only finished. If I remember rightly, we only ended up 2 or 3 points behind you in our first season back. Remember rightly. And, we might have got that sweet Conference League spot.
Nearly in Europe, nearly in Europe.
Yeah, it would have been. If we'd have qualified for it, we'd have gone down last season, because if we'd have had Thursday nights on top of having no players because of injuries, Jesus, sorry, doesn't even better think about carnage of getting beaten by Bodo Glimt or whatever it is.
Don't knock them; they're a pretty good team.
They beat Jose Mourinho 6-0 or something like that.
6-1 or something.
Anyway,
As Stephen says here, they got the people that
I can't believe I read the news. Was it yesterday or the day before? Mike Dean is going to become an official, regular part of the VAR room. So he's not going to officiate games anymore, but he's going to be a regular part of the VAR room. And it's like, what the fuck? Honestly.
What did he do?
I'm surprised
because they do VAR as well as the field work, right? So now, did he actually do good as a VAR official? Because they do both, right? So,
he's not going to. He's going to stop refereeing because he's retired from refereeing. But he's going to be like one of the. I think they're going to make him like a regular in the VAR room, and it's like, come on.
I think you need to be removed from the game for a couple of years before you can come back in and be a VAR. You're not going to be impartial for sure. You still have buddies out there on the pitch.
Guy is an absolute mental case, isn't he? Honestly.
I'm surprised he hasn't legally changed his name to Starman Mike Dean before the start.
Yeah, it's a question for Sam.
I don't even hate him. I've got nothing against him. I just know a lot of people hate him. But I was just like...
Yeah. Well, he's done a lot of crap refereeing anyway. But Erdogan, I think he'll have a better season this coming season. I think he can become an integral part of our attack. The guy, he does so much for our attack. I hope he gets into double figures for the season. I hope he gets 10 or more goals, to be honest. I'd like to see him get more, but as long as he gets into double figures. I think that'd be good, and double figures for assists as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say he needs to be at least a double figure assist man.
Yeah,
we're gonna improve. We're gonna improve all around him. So I expect more goals from Martinelli.
Yeah, better players to play the ball to.
ESR.
I think he's going to get more luck with Jesus than he was with Lacazette. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, if Saka can get 8 assists with on that squad, then Erdegaard has to get over 10.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he
Well,
needs
if you're
to.
improving
I don't
your
want.
team,
Yep. So we are coming to the end of the show, everyone. So we're gonna probably be here another 5 minutes. I think I said 10, but we're just gonna say our goodbyes, go through the last set of comments here, and then we're gonna probably head out. I enjoy this time of day doing it. We'll do this again regularly on the weekends, and we're bringing some other guests to hang out with us and talk. Mr. Tom usually is available, but I think he'll be out next week, so we will.
I've got work-related absence. I've already handed in my note to the boss, Gary. But I won't be here next week, boss.
He works down the light bulb company.
Yeah, I've got to earn sweet money. I've got to earn the money that I'm not going to spend on the light bill.
I'm working for the man.
Yeah, we'll let everybody have their last comments in here, and we'll get out of here. And of course, why not, Scott?
Look, why not? He's against Arteta, is he? I never saw that before.
He's just changed. He just changed.
Brilliant. I've convinced him to turn on Arteta. This is a great comment. I find this fascinating because it sums up football in a sentence. Because it's like,
yeah,
you're upset about a player that you don't know.
And you know what's amazing when it comes to us Arsenal fans is as soon as a player can be as shit as you want, but as soon as he goes to Spurs, if we've wanted him or we've been linked to him and he goes to Spurs, all of a sudden he's the fucking best player in the world. It's Richarlison now. All of a sudden he's like a prime fucking Bebeto or something, fucking Romario.
It's more like prime fucking Tom Daly.
The guy was an absolute joke. He's an absolute B-Tech fucking Brazilian. He hardly scored to save his life, but apparently he's going to make Spurs better. They can't believe he's going to Spurs. And, it's just, come on. And then Basuma's a half-decent player, but they make it sound like, first of all, his season now wasn't great. He wasn't even Leeds player of the season. He only won Leeds player of the month once last season. That's all. And, and they'll make it out like he had this amazing, world-beating season, and, like we missed out on some prime fucking 1995 Clarence Seedorf. It's just because he goes to Spurs. It does my nut. It's like, first of all, Spurs get him. It doesn't mean he's that good. Let's all be realistic there. Spurs do not get the best football players. They get lucky with some of the players they buy who turn out decent. The rest of them are all dog shit. Right? Let's be realistic with that. The good football players do not go to Spurs. Second of all, why do we give a shit, about those players when they've gone to Spurs? That's it. Fucking forget about it. Let's move on and concentrate about Arsenal. Just does my head in the way everyone skews everything all of a sudden in a completely different direction just because Spurs are involved. Fucking get realistic about things.
I hear you. Mrs. Tom, I think you might have had something to say.
Mr. Dem's put a comment up is great. No idea if it's true, but it's great. Have you seen the story? Martinez is talking to Rafinha's parents about move to Arsenal. WTF? Why would he talk to them? I mean, that does kind of remind me of this time where a colleague once said to me, "I'm not racist. My sister dated a black man." To which I turned around and went, "What? How does that prove you're not racist?"
I went to school with some Indians.
Yeah. I went, that's like, I was like, how's that prove you're not racist? Like that. Yeah. That's like getting legal advice from a lawyer's brother. It's not relevant.
Yeah. I got some legal advice from my grand aunt, in fucking Slovakia.
All right, Mr. Tom, say your goodbyes, and we're gonna head out of here.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you to everyone who participated in the comment section. Even Stan. Sorry, Stan. To Stan. I'm in a WhatsApp, not WhatsApp. I'm in a Twitter chat with Stan. I've just called him Dan. That's unfortunate. Anyway, Mr. Stan. Who has created a few comments that have got my attention. He's a funny fucker, that Stan. Not Dan, Stan. And but thank you to everyone that's participated and supported the show. And what was the comment that was said? I am a compelling young kid. Why not? Yeah. Emphasis on the young.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Mr. Tom.
Thank you, everyone.
And Sam.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great as always with you guys. Enjoyed being on with you guys, having a good chat. And all the guys in the chat section as well. Always a good laugh with you guys. Some good comments and some good contributions there. That's why not Spurs. I'm not quite sure about him, but I mean, Basuma better than any midfielder we have.
He praised me.
No,
he praised me. He's my boy now.
Thomas Partey, when he's fitting in form, is much better than Basuma. We saw that last season. Let's be realistic. I bet you haven't even fucking seen Basuma. That's the thing. You probably just read what other people say. And Perisic, 33 years old or whatever he is, 34 years old Perisic, he's a good player, but he's not better than Saka, is he? Come on, let's be realistic now. He's not better than Saka, so come on now. I mean, yank your head in, will you? But yeah, just nice to have a little Arsenal chat again. We're getting there, aren't we? Closer and closer to pre-season, and be interesting to see who we actually go for now. It's been a bit of a lull, hasn't it, the last few days? So let's see what happens. And I hope everyone has a good evening.
It's much more. You can't lose games during the summer for sure.
You can't get relegated if the season doesn't start.
There you go.
We might win the Emirates Cup this season.
And likewise, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Mr. Tom and Sam, it's great having you on. We'll continue to do these shows. The guests might change, but we're going to try to be as consistent as we can, so you get familiar with everybody. But I think it'll be fun. Transfer. Next time we do this, hopefully we have somebody to talk about coming in for either one of our teams. I guess you can call us the Arsenal Leeds, show if you want. If Mr. Tom is here, that's all you need to know. On top of myself and Sam and whoever else joins us. So yeah, thanks for coming. We'll do this again.
So we've managed to go nearly 100 minutes, and neither team had a transfer to actually a transfer's not actually happened. Yeah, we've managed to go for nearly 100 minutes. I mean, that's
crazy. No business being done on the weekend. That's just crazy. Yeah. But like I said, everybody, thank you. We'll do this again, and we'll see you next week around the same time. It'll probably be, like I said, anywhere between 10 a.m. and I guess 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I guess is what? Is that 1 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, depending on where you are in the world. So we'll do that. Like I like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. And we will see you on the next one. Everybody, we'll see you. Everybody, bye-bye.